When the sun's light faded, the veil of the Holy of Holies was torn in two from top to bottom. And Jesus, crying out with a loud voice, said, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." And with these words, he died.
Hey, sweetie. So, for Christmas, we thought it would be a good gift to give you a rendition, or a rendering rather, of you in your spiritual armor. And so you'll remember that when Josh drew me, he had that list of what everything meant. We're going to do the exact same thing, except this time we're going to read through and talk about each individual component.
So let's take these things.
And the first thing we're going to talk about is your pose, because you're always ready to go after God's call or hinder or thwart the enemy's advancement in your life, and your attentive spirit in your heart is always alert and listening to God's call and anything that you can do to further his kingdom. So that's just your pose in general, your overall stature in this picture.
So, Brittany, one thing that's really interesting about your armor is that you're not your typical plated, suited, medieval-looking warrior. You have some metal pieces, yes, but the core of your armor is leather. And this reason being is because anybody that you're ministering to, they see you as approachable, and they just know that they can come up and they could almost give you a hug, just because you're that loving and generous and kind spirit that they know they can identify with. They're comfortable around you. They love being around you. They love talking with you. So, the leather just really makes you it brings out your soft side as a woman, and as just a daughter of God that's just willing to love on people and be approachable.
Heart opening and ring. This is very truly one of your greatest gifts, and one that I see on a day-to-day basis. You have a compassion that allows you to feel people's pain. Your empathy for people goes straight to your heart. It's an amazing gift, but can also be a source of extreme vulnerability, and that's where the ring comes in. It's my wedding ring that holds your heart together and keeps it from falling apart. I watch over your heart with the help of God, forever protecting and loving you. Even if it costs me my life, I'll watch over your heart.
I'm proud of you, and I love you. Now the necklace. Necklace is definitely something that's between me. You have had such an influence on, like, not only in just like the stuff I wear, but like just a woman of class. You know, I grew up seeing you become a woman and just learning from you, and we just the necklace just has that symbol of the connection between us, and it's different from the connection between like you and Mariah. And you know that we both, aim to be those women, those classy women. You just bought me a book about like the classy styles of vintage, and so this is just something that we have in common, and it's definitely impacted me.
Your pouches. Your caring and kind spirit are what these represent. You carry things that can heal people and help them along the way, and that goes back to your compassion and your love for others, and how you're always willing to reach out to others and help people out. Your arms. There's no way that anyone could wield the weapons of God without strength from him, and as much as that strength is a gift, it is also something that requires training in him. This is training in all ministry facets, so when he calls you, you're ready. Your arms show that you have been training and are keeping yourself in spiritual shape for the battles to come.
Now your left shoulder is your heart for the unborn. We all know how much of a heart you have for children, and how you want to be a mom more than anything, and it's a beautiful thing. And out of all of us, you would be the one that can definitely be the mom. You have a nurturing heart that feels for those who are hurting, lost, and alone, but there's a special connection between your heart and the hearts that never get a chance to experience a life full of the love of the Father. Not only have you written a song for the unborn, but you have you nurtured the ones that have been born, and so you always have that heart for children, and it's inspiring. it's powerful.
Your bow and quiver. Bows are discernment. This is a spiritual gifting and your skill you are extremely adept at. For this reason, you have a bow that is almost the same size as you. You have a full quiver, and thus this is a gift God has a lot of plans for. Bows like discernment have the ability to do life-ending or altering damage at a long range and with pinpoint accuracy. Thus, it comes with a large responsibility from God to use it wisely.
Your cloak, BB, it makes you better than Batman. It's one of those very special gifts, for it is all too often cast off, but it is so important. It represents your humility. Your cloak is also lined into very special verses, such as Jeremiah 29:11, which we know states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And this is on the hood because God wants you to see his promise right before your eyes to remind you even in the darkest of days. The second verse is repeated around the rest of the cloak. It's Proverbs 3:5, which is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And this one lines your cloak because it truly defines your heart of humility. Brittany, we know that if you do trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, if you acknowledge him in all your ways, he will direct and guide your paths as a superhero.
Your forearm shield and hip shield. These are faith and are simple pieces of armor because like your helm, your faith is founded in your parents. Your faith is simple, it's pure, there's no bells and whistles, just plain and simple, uncompromising passion. So next are the belts. Belts are truth and not belts like the ones that you wear around your waist. Belts on armor are harnesses that bind the armor together and attach it to the wearer. Without an amazing foundation in truth, your armor could leave holes open to attack, or could even fall right off of you.
You have belts everywhere, making sure that you are snug in the armor that God has built for you. And now leaves. The leaves are my favorite part because you know how much I love trees. And Josh didn't even like this. Like, he was just like, yeah, so I want you to talk about like the trees and the leaves. And I was just like, oh, well, okay. But the thing is, I love leaves and trees. So it represents the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. God is three people in one. And it's displayed for everyone to see because it's the love of God that you find life. And it's when people look at you, they see God, you know, they see God working with you. These are really pretty leaves too.
The helm. These are always salvation, and yours is special. It's old-fashioned leather on the sides with a steel cap, and there's nothing fancy about it. This is because your salvation comes out of the amazingly simple idea of salvation your parents passed down to you.
Your fire eyes is one thing, Brittany, I know for a fact God has gifted you with. The fact that you see in colors, you see in sounds, you see in music notes, you see in orchestras. And I think it's so unique and so special, and it's something that I attribute to you. That's a Brittany thing, and in a way you're able to just see people and relate to people in such a personal way, and on a deeper level than anybody else could ever do, just because of this gift of music.
Your right shoulder. Your greatest protection and comfort is found in worship, and the angle of this ornate piece of armor is worshiping, and its wings flow out into the form of piano keys, because you are just so talented on the piano, and your music is just so sharp and on key and just God's will, that is just one great reason why those piano keys are just really, really spiky. So, this part of your life is also the most visible, because people are also are just able to just see how talented you are. And in medieval times, fancy armor was worn by leaders to inspire their troops to follow them into battle, as your worship does for you. So you know that this is probably one of my favorite parts just because of the history of it. Just imagine how the leaders back then they took pride in their armor. And this is something that you take pride in, your talent.
Your weaponry. One of my favorites. Not only has God equipped you with a large bow of discernment, he's also given you multiple blades. You carry a broadsword for heavy, large combat, an elfish one-handed sword for speed, and 2 daggers for quick strikes. How you are to use these is only known to him, but the point is your ability to adapt to the situation for maximum ministry effectiveness. So no matter what situation comes your way, no matter what storm or trial in your life, you always have something to handle it. And God is the one who decides which weapon he wants you to use, and you just follow through, and you've got everything you need to move forward.
Now, tree. Let's see. The trees are on it's like your knees. The 3 people are interlocked and raised high, and together we've grown up into this great tree, well rooted in God's heart and growing towards heaven with a passionate fire. And that's just amazing.
Your expression. You're not timid, shy, or scared to go forth in his name. You speak out when you have to. You always are willing to speak your mind. In fact, you do it with a confidence and a joy that radiates off of you. It's this confidence that inspires the people around you to press forth and move forward in the hard times in life, and not just back down or wimp out. But they look to you and they see an expression of hope, of strength, and they have their own strength to help them move forward.
As you can see, your necklace and your sword are very special in this picture. On your sword, you see a drumstick. So Josh thought it would be wonderful to also incorporate Sierra and I in this. So thank you, Josh. Because Brittany, as you know, you are our sister, and we all helped to mold and shape and strengthen and encourage each other into the women that we've become. So pretty things and pearls in particular are something that symbolizes your connection with Sierra, and the drumstick on the handle of your broadsword is your connection with me. So we just like the fact that we're in this picture, and I like the fact that I'm on your sword because I have always helped you in your offensive, faith-bound walk. I've been there with you by your side, just helping you and encouraging you and strengthening you. And I've stood by you, and as family always should, I've stood with you, and I've helped you knock out the enemy in many, many ways, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I've prayed with you. I've been a spiritual warrior with you. So I like the fact that I'm on your sword, just to show that I'm with you in combat. So it's really cool.
12 is the setting. You're standing on a precipice looking out over a valley. This was done to show that your calling to be a watchful eye over God's people. On their walks, people can look to you for wisdom that can only come with a great view of what God is doing. Your boots, thick leather to stand up against weather, wear, and travel. There will be a lot of it, and God has given you a spirit that can handle the difficulties that come with that.
Right. Look at that, the red. I think it's, you're like, I don't want to, it's not like a cape or anything, but it's kind of like a red strand. If you look at the strand, it has one of your favorite Bible verses, which are many different Bible verses, but it has 2 Corinthians 4:1 on it. And it's written in Greek. Therefore, since through God's mercy we have this ministry, we do not lose heart. That's awesome. Okay? That's awesome. So, you are dedicated to finding what God has called you to do, and that's your ministry. And throughout all these years of Beyond the Veil, you have prevailed. And you've been doing this for like 10 years, and you're still doing it. You're not losing heart. I know it gets tough sometimes, but you never give up.
BB, your shirt is fancy. You have always loved to dress up, and that is true in spirit. However, you wear fancy clothes under your armor to remind you that regardless how dirty and rough it may get, you are God's little girl who will always dress up like his princess and dance around and sing for him. BB, you are Rakis. You're wearing a fancy shirt, you're wearing pearls, and you're glowing, and you're just radiantly Rakis.
Because you have that servant heart, you know, you have this servant picture, which is supposed to be a symbol of your service. Whenever I need something, you're always there to give it to me. Right there. Like, Sierra, do you want to use my make? So do you want a glass of water? So but care ride is forever, car ride is 30 minutes. So your care ride is forever, and you're always going to be a servant of the Lord. And the on your armor is because you have such a servant heart. That's part of your armor. That's part of your combat. Not everyone has that servant heart, and it's more powerful than you know.
So there are 2 people on your chest who are jumping for joy and just excited. I like to think that is you and me, BB. We are a package, and we're right there close to your heart. We're jumping for joy and the fact that we just love to minister together. We love to just be a package together. And yeah.
Brittany, I just want to wish you, a Merry Christmas. I am spending some of it with you, and you are a blessing, and I hope you just enjoy this. Enjoy all the hard work that Josh put into this, and that so many people love you and so many people know you so well that you're just able to put you in a picture. And I just hope you love it, and I know you're gonna love it, so just enjoy it.
I'm so happy that Brendan decided to contact Josh and get this all lined up for your Christmas present. I think it's wonderful. I think it's amazing in the sense that it's kind of reconnected our family over the holidays, and we've been able to reflect on not only our ministry, but how strong of a unit you were in the ministry. And if anything, it's made me miss you terribly because I've just been thinking about what things I love about you and things I miss about you and things that I look up to you for, and just a great example that you've been in my life. And so, Brittany, I just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and tell you that I love you so much. And I just know that this is going to be a prized possession in your household. And you'll always be able to look at this meeting and know how much love was poured into it and how many people just love you just the way you are. And you'll be able to know and the numerous ways that you've affected people, as well as the many ways that they've affected you to grow, to shape you. So, Merry Christmas, Brittany. You are my older sister, and I love you so much.
Well, I love you, Britt. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the rendering of you even more. I just want to take the time to tell you how much I care about you, and also just to thank Josh for putting all this together. I mean, he did all the hard work, and just we supplied him some of the resources for him to draw up, about your spiritual gifts and things like that. But he really put a lot of hard work into this, and we're just really proud of you and love you, and want to wish you a Merry Christmas with this gift from all of us. So see ya.